I'm 60 years old. My name is Helen. My son is 33, and he still lives in my house. He sleeps in the same bedroom where he grew up. He puts his clothes in the same closet I built for him when he was 10 years old, and every single day he eats the meals I cook for him. He doesn't work. He has no intention of learning anything new or applying anywhere. He wakes up late, turns on the television or his computer, and that's how the day passes. If I don't prepare breakfast, he doesn't eat breakfast. If I don't wash his clothes, they pile up on the chair until there's nothing clean left to wear. But this didn't happen overnight. This arrangement settled in slowly, piece by piece, day by day, and I allowed it all to happen. When he was a child, I never let him do anything on his own. I tied his shoes until he was 12 years old. He's still too young, I told myself. I did most of his homework for him because I didn't want him to feel stressed. When he had a problem with a teacher, I went to the school. When he argued with a friend, I defended him. I thought I was protecting him. I thought he had long years ahead to experience pain and struggle. I never allowed him to feel uncomfortable, not even once. And then he turned 18. School ended. "I don't know what I want to do," he said. "Take a year to think about it," I told him. That 1 year became 3. I never asked him to work. Whenever he needed money, I gave it to him. When his cousins started getting jobs, I defended him. Everyone's path is different. At 25, he enrolled in a technical training program. It lasted 4 months. He said the hours were too demanding. He said he was tired, so I withdrew him from the program myself to spare him the burden. "You'll find something you truly love," I assured him. He never looked for anything. When he turned 30, his aunt offered him a job. He lasted 2 weeks. The commute was too long. The hours were too difficult. The environment didn't suit him. When he came home, I welcomed him like he'd returned from war. I cooked his favorite meal. "Something better will come along," I said. Nothing has come along yet. Today, his routine is exactly the same. He falls asleep in front of videos at 2 or 3 in the morning. He wakes up at noon. He comes into the kitchen and asks, "What's for lunch?" If I tell him to take out the trash, he says later. If I tell him to look for work, he gets angry. "You're pressuring me," he says. A few weeks ago, I told him I'm not as strong as I used to be anymore. My back hurts. I get tired easily. He suggested I hire someone to help me around the house. 2 months ago, I got sick. I was miserable for 3 days straight. Maybe this time something will change, I thought. Maybe he'll finally step up. On the first day, he ordered food delivery. On the second day, he left the dishes on the table. On the third day, he asked me when I'd be back on my feet because he'd run out of clean clothes. That's when I understood. He cannot live without being taken care of, and that person has always been me. My sisters tell me I need to make him leave. He's grown up, they say. This has to end. But at night, when I look into his room and see that peaceful face, I see the 5-year-old boy curled up with his pillow, fast asleep. I didn't prepare him for the world. I protected him from it. And now his world is limited to the walls of my house. The only thing he has is me. I replay the years in my mind, over and over, trying to pinpoint the exact moment when love turned into harm, when protection became imprisonment. Was it when I stopped letting him fail? When I shielded him from every consequence, every uncomfortable feeling, every minor disappointment? I remember the day he came home crying because another kid had been mean to him at school. He was 8. I marched into that school the very next morning and demanded the other child be disciplined. I felt powerful. I felt like a good mother. I never stopped to think, what did my son learn that day? That problems disappear if you wait for someone else to solve them, that discomfort is intolerable, that the world should bend to accommodate him. I gave him that lesson 1,000 times over. Here's what no one tells you about unconditional love. It can become unconditional enabling. I loved my son so much that I wanted to spare him from every hardship, but in doing so, I robbed him of something essential, the ability to cope, to struggle, to grow. Every time I stepped in, I sent him a message. You can't handle this. You need me. And he believed it. He still believes it. Now, at 33 years old, he's emotionally frozen at the age I stopped challenging him, somewhere around 10 or 12, when a child should start learning independence, responsibility, self-reliance. He lost the chance to discover who he is outside of this house, outside of me. He never learned that failure isn't fatal, that boredom can be productive, that discomfort often precedes growth. He never had to push through something hard and feel the pride that comes on the other side. He never had to solve his own problems and realize, I'm capable. Instead, I taught him that life is something that happens to you, that you wait, that someone, me, will always fix things. And now he's 33 years old with no skills, no confidence, no direction, and no idea how any of this happened. I look in the mirror and barely recognize myself. I used to have hobbies, friends I'd meet for coffee, dreams of traveling once my son was grown. Now my entire identity is wrapped around him, around keeping this broken system running. I'm exhausted. My back aches from doing all the housework. My mind aches from carrying the weight of 2 adults' lives. And somewhere deep down, beneath the love and the guilt and the fear, I'm angry. Angry at him for taking everything and giving nothing. Angry at myself for letting it happen. But mostly, I'm terrified because I'm 60. I won't be here forever, and when I'm gone, what happens to him? My sisters are right. I know they are. But every time I think about asking him to leave, about forcing him into the world, I panic. What if he can't handle it? What if he ends up homeless or worse? What if something terrible happens and it's my fault for not protecting him? But then I think, isn't it already terrible? Isn't this a kind of death? A slow erasure of a life that could have been? He's alive, yes. He's safe, fed, sheltered, but he's not living. He's 33 years old, and he's never felt the thrill of earning his own money, the satisfaction of solving his own problem, the confidence that comes from standing on your own 2 feet. I took all of that from him, in the name of love. I think deep down, I needed him to need me. When he was small, I was everything to him, and it felt good. It felt like purpose. As he got older, the thought of him leaving, of building a life without me, it terrified me. What would I be without him? What would my days look like? So maybe, just maybe, I kept him dependent, not consciously, but in 1,000 small ways, I sent the message, stay, you're not ready, you need me. And he listened. I don't have the answer yet. Part of me wants to let this continue, to keep cooking his meals, washing his clothes, pretending this is sustainable, pretending this is love. But I know it's not. Love doesn't keep someone small. It doesn't trap them in a child's bedroom at 33. It doesn't steal their future to ease your own fear of being alone. Real love might mean doing the hardest thing I've ever done. letting go. Even if he falls, even if he struggles, even if he resents me for it. Because the truth is, he can't start living until I stop living for him. Or is the only way to truly help him live to finally let him go? I don't know if I'm strong enough. I don't know if he is either. But I do know this: we can't keep going like this. Something has to change, and it has to start with me, because I'm the one who built this prison, and I might be the only one who can unlock the door.